Welcome back to Rusty Relic Revivals, everybody. Got another new one here for you. So if you watch my videos, you're probably saying, hey, wait, you just put one up the other day. Yes, I did. Like Saturday or Sunday, actually. So like a day or two ago. And I already have another one for you. Why, you might ask? Well, you see, I had to wash the taste of Dodge out of my trailer's mouth. It just hauled that Dodge for my buddy Daniel, and I told him, I said, man, I got to get back to hauling Fords. This just ain't right. So, found me another Bronco. Got an 86 Bronco. Been sitting for a while, as you can see, all the crusties on it. It's got a 351 Windsor 4-barrel from the factory. So that's the big motor for 86. Actually not too bad, pretty solid. Quarters are pretty solid. Fender wells are pretty solid. It's got some rust on the driver's fender, some rust at the bottom of the tailgate. Been not cared for the best, but see the glasses broke out quite a while ago, and they've got some kind of rigged up cover on there for it. But other than that, the body's not too bad. You know, rear quarters, like I said, over the wheels isn't bad. Bottom of the door's decent, but there's one hole about about big enough to sling a cat through right there at the bottom of the fender. But other than that, kind of a solid body, really. C6 automatic, 4-wheel drive, of course. Full-size Bronco. Interior's complete, faded, but complete. Got the high back buckets. Came with a tack. That's a cool option. Not a lot of them did back then. Cool old school Ford floor mats. It's got a back seat in there. It's not mounted in the correct location, but definitely been a few visitors, critters and things. But yeah, solid old truck. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna do a quick video here. Just do a quick will it run. Oh, by the way, this is one of the main things I wanted right here. The old push bumper is very, very I will say overqualified condition wise to be on this Bronco. So the front bumper and the push bumper are like mint condition. So loving that. That may end up going on another rig I have. But anyway, yeah, just originally just a parts Bronco, but I want to see if it runs. How long's it been sitting? Got a North Carolina inspection sticker here for, looks like 2008, September of 2008. So that goes back about 16 years, I think. So been sitting about 16 years. We're gonna see if it'll fire. Just a quick will it run here. Get back to doing some stuff about Fords after having Daniel's Dodge on my trailer. Daniel, no offense, buddy, love you and all. I'm a Ford man. All right, you can see 5.8 liter 4V HO still kind of faint right there on the air cleaner cover. So let's see what we got here. Hopefully the squirrels and rats and mice ain't made too much of a home in here. Huh? I've seen worse. Definitely seen worse. So yeah, all things considered, not too bad. Should be able to pull that off now. I'll have to clean that out. There's a bunch of crap in there. Okie doke. Let's see. Got throttle linkage. Yeah, it's not stuck. Definitely stiff, but not stuck. All right. First things first, we gotta get a battery in here and see if it'll turn over. Yeah. Got a battery in there and nothing's on fire yet. So that's a win, right? Small win. Let's see what the oil looks like. Smells okay. Doesn't look like it has any water in it. It's always a good sign. Radiator. I see something way down in there and just got a little bit of a green tint to it. So maybe that means the block hasn't frozen busted. So I'm gonna pull the coil wire off and just spin it over a little bit if it'll crank. There we go. Okay. Signs of life, that's good. Doesn't sound like there's any dead cylinders. That's promising. Well, actually sounds pretty decent turning over. That's giving the bearings a little bit of oil, hopefully, and getting a chance for it to pump up to the top end just a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is get my universal gas feed, which is a water bottle with some gasoline in it. And we may pour a little down the carb and see if it'll make some noise. Switch is on. Universal fuel feed right here. Let's just see if it'll make any kind of snappity crackle pop to start with. Nothing yet. Now usually in my experience with Fords, if it's going to try to go, it would have tried to win on what we just did. So let's check this out here. I don't think she has any spark. I'm going to get a spark tester. Check that coil wire real quick. Now I usually just job a screwdriver down in a plug wire or something, but I got fancy and stumbled into this spark tester. You just plug that on there, find a ground with that. If it's got spark, that should jump across there. Let's see here. Does not appear to have any spark. All right. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this distributor cap. I'm going to make sure that rotor button turns when we crank it. We not got a timing issue or something. Yep. That turns. So I don't think timing chain's broke. I think we don't have any sparks, what I think. And when you don't have spark, thankfully this one's old enough that it still has a DuraSpark box. What's a DuraSpark box? DuraSpark box is that little gizmo right there. It even says DuraSpark. This was Ford's version of ignition, starting back along whenever they went away from points. I'm going to say 76, 77. They went to the DuraSpark system, and that's basically your ignition control module, I guess as you'd call it. But this one happens to be yellow, so I'm going to go look in my spare parts stash and see if I've got a yellow one. I don't know if I do or not. I have a lot of spare parts, but I don't know if I have a yellow DuraSpark. I've got one of them modules that'll be right in here. I got a couple. That's a blue grommet, and that's a blue grommet. I do not have a yellow, but I think it might just be a timing difference or something. I'm gonna take this blue one and see if we can make it work. All right, so the only spare I had a blue grommet right here. It's got one plug with a red and a white, and one plug with a orange, a green, a black, and a purple. This has one plug with a red and a white right here, and a plug with a orange, a green, a black, and a purple right here. And then this plug is black and white with a yellow, but if you look, this just kind of loops around and goes into here, which is mounted to the bottom of that module. And I also noticed this module is cracked right here. So there may be something up with that. But anyway, I'm gonna see if I can just plug this in to these two and not worry about that, and let's see what it does. All right, that worked. They plugged right up. I got the one with the red and white and the one with the orange, purple, black, and green. They both plugged right into the factory harness. Didn't worry about that other one. We're gonna see if that'll give us any sparky here. I'll put the spark tester back on here. All right, I got our spark tester hooked back up. Just took the coil wire off, put it back on the spark tester, grounded it right there. Let's turn the switch back on. And we're gonna be looking for a spark on that gap right there. Switch on, fire in the hole. Oh, I hear it and I see it. Got a good hot spark right there. I'm not gonna touch it because I don't want to get zapped. Call me crazy, but I have had stored energy in the coil discharge through me, and that kind of sucks. So, all right, we have spark now. Switch is off. I plugged the coil wire back on. I just turned the switch back on. Got my little bottle of fuel. Coil wire plugged back up. Give her a good drink of fuel again. Now let's see what it does. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. It definitely started. Ha! Let's give it another little drink here. Didn't sound too terribly bad either. Pulling some oil up, nothing rattling. Old thing sounds pretty good, sitting 15 years. All right, she runs. Good deal. A little smoke, but to be expected with all the crap that was probably built up in the exhaust. All right, the L351 Windsor 4-barrel fired right up. Actually sounded really dang good. Blew a little smoke out the exhaust, but honestly, I expect that from one sitting that long. Animals build nests up in exhaust pipes and everything else, so I didn't hear any clatter from the engine. Pretty happy with that. Looks like this 86 Bronco is somewhat revived. At least it runs. Got to decide what to do with it. I don't know if I'll part it out. I don't know if I'll try to keep it in one piece. It just depends on what I end up needing off of it and whether or not I end up deciding to keep it. But definitely a good parts rig, if nothing else. So another Rusty Relic revival is well on its way. And the main thing about today's video is less than 48 hours after hauling the Dodge, the trailer's got another Ford on it. Rusty Relic revivals, you guys like and subscribe to my videos. I'd really appreciate that. We love to just keep old Fords on the road, and every once in a while, if it's for a good cause, maybe a buddy's Dodge, but don't hold it against me. Thanks again.